Hello folks, and welcome to the Brite Bite Nighttime Fishing Aid. We all like night fishing. The problem is there's not a whole lot in the way of helping you see your pole at night. I mean, they have bells that you can hook onto the end of them. They have all them glow sticks that you break. Half the time you cast them off the end of your fishing pole. Or you can't never find them in stock in the stores when you need them. Or you end up resulting to painting your tips different colors, yellows, whites. So I figured I'd help us all out here, and I'd invent something for us. So with a little help from my 3D printer, I came up with this little gaffer here. See, it's a sexy looking thing. It's not very big, doesn't weigh a whole lot. It's an LED bulb, 2 LR44 watch batteries, regular fishing swivel on the end of it, a little tack switch. Now the thought behind this is using the flex from the fishing pole. So you get a little flex on your pole, right? Pretty good idea. Well, let me go over to the fishing pole and show you how this thing hooks up and how well it works. I'll be having a site where I can sell these. Or hopefully I can get Bass Pro or somebody to buy them. I really think people would enjoy these things. They work really awesome. They're really bright. Alright, so let me go show you how this hooks on the fishing pole. Get her focused in. Get out there. Okay. Alright, now to hook these up on your fishing pole, these 4 little nuts. You want to take all 4 of these nuts off. Right, they're small, but I want to keep it compact and as lightweight as I can. I tried making smaller versions with hearing aid batteries, but they just weren't bright enough. These things are really bright when they go off, and you notice it no matter where you are. They're flickering. It looks like you're in a disco or something. Right, once you get them 4 nuts off, see how there's 4. Take a complete side of them out. So take these 2 all the way out, and these 2 just bring them so they're flush with the top, so you can slide this open and make it like a little sandwich in there. Alright, we'll take these all the way out. And do these caps in different colors. I'm going to keep the bodies black in the part on the pole, but I'm going to change the caps. So I get red ones, black ones, yellow, green, purple. You know, I tried a bunch of different ones because different people like different things, but to me it doesn't really matter. They work really good anyways. Alright, so now when I got these, see, I got the 2 out completely, and I got the 2 of them so they're flush with the top, and just slide these apart. So that's slid apart, makes a little, okay. So now the sweet spot where you hook these up, go from the tip of your fishing pole. You want to clip your swivel right around your fishing pole. So just take that clip, put it around your fishing pole, clip it, slide it right down until it catches that eye and it just kind of rests there. Now take your sandwich part, slide it on your fishing pole. Your pole will find them 2 little grooves in there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put these other 2 nuts in there. Like I said, I tapped the top end so you can start them easily with your fingers so you're not fumbling around with a bunch of things. Alright, so you get that started, it don't come falling out on you. I would have just tapped them and called it good, not put the little nuts, but I know how plastic is with threads, you know, so I want you to have this forever. I want it to be a good quality thing. I made the batteries really easy to change in them. A normal swivel, anybody's got it in their toolbox if something happens to that, which I don't know if anything would ever happen to it, but it's all easily fixed. The LEDs is I think it's a 3-volt LED. You can pick them up for next to nothing if you know how to solder. Really simple to fix. If not, buy a new one. I'm going to sell these really cheap, like $10 a piece. And chances are people are going to have 3 or 4 of them. They work that good. Alright, so you're hooking this up. You want to make sure you don't get your line all tangled up in there. I mean, sometimes when you're not paying attention, that line will be stuck in there. Just make sure your line's not hooked up and spooling. Okay, I got it fairly tight. I didn't crank it right down because you want to move it a little bit for our adjustment. Okay, so look up your pole, make sure it's not way overspun that way or spun that way. Okay, now what you're going to do is grab the back here, slide it down until it lights. See how it's lit up? Okay, now just give it a push up until it goes out, and altogether 1/4 of an inch probably. 3/16 inches, 1/4 of an inch up from when it comes on. Okay, we're going to tighten them screws down. You don't have to over tighten them. Just give them a good snugging with your screwdriver, because we want to test it, make sure we got it where we want it before we put the nuts and call it quits. Okay, so now this adjustment here, when it's all the way up to where that switch is, it takes the biggest bite to set it off. So right now, see how far that moves? And again, if you want more of a move than that, just push that up a little bit farther, so then it'll actually make it have to go a lot more before it hits. But I kind of like it like that, so you know right off the bat when they're playing with it. Okay, but now if you're one of them fishermen that just wants the light on, it's kind of the same mimic as the glow sticks. Take this slider, slide it all the way back until that light stays on. That light will stay on. I don't know how many hours these batteries will last with it on, but LEDs don't take a whole lot to run them. So myself, I like the striking mode, because think how long they're going to last. The only time it's going to come on is when a fish is biting it, or when you're railing a fish in, because of the weight. Obviously, it's going to flex your pole. If you want it as sensitive as you can make it, just slide that up. Keep sliding it in little increments until that light goes off. So that, see how little that's moving? We pull this thing out, like you have it casted, the fish is pulling it. See how sensitive that is? Fishing out of a boat, I don't know how these are going to work. I mean, they're basically for night fishing on the riverbank. You know, you get your lanterns going, you got all the bugs flying around you, and these things just work amazingly well. Okay, once we have this set, we put our 4 screws on here. Right, I'm happy with that set. Chances are you're going to be at the riverbank playing with it when you get it anyways, if you're anything like me, figuring out exactly how everything works in it. But like I said, I kept them reasonably cheap. We're going to have a store online, probably be called Brite Bite. But I just want to get this out there for people to see what we're working on. These little nuts are probably the hardest part of this whole installation, because I got like sausage fingers and they're really hard to get on there. But like I said, I don't want it moving when you get it on there. I don't want it to be a pain in the butt. If you like lure fishing and you put this on your pole, the extra weight does. You can feel it on there, but you can still fish with it on there. But most of us for night fishing have poles that we use for night fishing, hence the colored ends and all this stuff. Okay. Well, I don't have to finish putting these nuts and show you, right? Because I want to get to how to change the batteries on these things. You just put them nuts on there, tighten them down with your 5mm wrench, yada yada. But okay, so now batteries. When you want to change the batteries on these, there's a little screw. Let me take this off the tripod so I can get better at this for you. Okay. Pull you over here, don't. Okay, so see this little screw on your pivot right here. Pull this screw all the way out. It's threaded on this side. Pull this screw out. This will slide right off of this thing. It'll come right up. That swivel will come up. You can unclip it. Take that screw out, and there's 2 little overhangs that your fingernails get into, and it'll help you just pull that off. Be careful. If you got upside down, the batteries will come flying out of there. I mean, they're not spring loaded or nothing, but they're little dinky batteries. There is a wire from the LED going across to the switch. I've made it pretty long, but if you give it like a real big yank, you might rip that wire off. So I'm just giving you a heads up caution on what not to do. But yeah, basically they're pretty easy. The the positive on all these is up on the batteries. That's the side that's solid and it's usually got the writing on it. But all the plus signs are up on every light that I make, so it's easy to install. My printer can't put that little diagram like all the other ones, but either way, I hope you like this. I hope you guys want to buy this. And keep looking for Brite Bite. We'll be selling them. Hopefully we can get Bass Pro to get interested in them. But they work amazingly well. Thank you for your time.